Painting is my form of just communicating. And I work with wax pastels, I work with colored pencils, I work with oil pastels, I work with flash paint, gouache, acrylics sometimes, watercolor sometimes, oils. So I work with everything really. I feel that I have a more formal voice. So things like rhythm and balance, composition, color, all those things I care about a lot. My work is a little bit more experimental, but I think my approach is a little bit more formal. So I think academically, which I think makes a little bit of sense because I'm in here with Josef Albers, whose work was very, cold a little bit, like more, academic and like caring about the materials and what the materials can do. That's what I'm passionate about. I don't like seeing things in my paintings that look like they might be real things. Sometimes I don't like when somebody points something out, something looks like a flower. I don't like that because, to me it's not a flower, it's just a form. And I also really don't like when things are too pretty. But yeah, I like opposite things too. I like things that are like in order versus like a lot of, play and, I don't know, I like opposites, muddy and clean, all that stuff. I also collage a lot. A lot of paintings get cut out. So like I'll do a painting and then if a part stands out to me and the rest of the painting isn't working, I'll cut it out so I can see if it can fit better in a different composition. So these are just, to me they're just tools, I guess, that I can probably use in other paintings. Maybe it's the texture that I liked, maybe it was the color combinations, maybe it was just, I don't know, like the expressive marks in there. Sometimes I'll do like thumbnails for like paintings because I get in trouble a lot because I waste a little materials because I'm just playing around, and then I waste time and materials. So sometimes I think about trying out like thumbnails or like little drawings or something, and sometimes it works out, but then sometimes it feels too structured when I do that. Like when I have too much of a plan, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't work very well for me. To me, there's just, like playgrounds. Paintings are, just moments of curiosity and just figuring out what the materials can do.
So yeah, I'm in the quiet house, which has been like pretty incredible, and I'm putting together this I think I made a bunch of book dummies as part of what I thought about coming here, is like how can I capture as many impressions of this place. So we have physical impressions. I did rubbings of the outside of the door of the quiet house, and just thinking about the different ways, the indexicality of the place, and the different connections to embodiment I can get. So, but yeah, I kind of just put together some workbooks to hold thoughts and ideas, and I used a lot of my time to collage here, collaging ideas, collaging across time. I put up this print, which is a photograph of Hazel's studio, and I was talking with Alice. We think it actually might be here at Black Mountain, and then I've been collaging some of my stuff into it, and then the collage is kind of changing over time, different elements, and I'm really liking the way in which the new shadows that I can layer, layering new time and new light in. And then this picture I was excited about because I made this sculpture thinking about Buckminster Fuller almost 10 years ago, and now being back here where his supine dome happened was really cool. So I think these might become something, become a series. Photographs usually become sculptural and then flatten again, and then potentially become mural prints. So, but I really like the scale of this book, and like I thought of like just this rendering of the House of Meditation as this square, and like this becoming some kind of block. So it's kind of a sketch of like of some of these things. This is a piece of charcoal I took from the fire pit to make the rubbing outside. And then I wanted the lake to kind of happen here. That's in my show in Milwaukee, but that's Merce dancing. Vanessa captured me dancing. So I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, right? I'm an artist in between two cities, and I'm a parent of two kids. So when I have time to work, I like work very fast. So everything is just super intuitive and like quick. And then I've been kind of like adding and piecing. I really like layering. This moment in here is my favorite, if you want to get in. It's actually this like, I think that in a book, I think it would work nice because it's kind of double-sided. And it's my son and lots of different other collages. This is a collage I made of my brother who's now deceased at our Embrace. So I bring like a bunch of pictures from past projects with me, and then I kind of layer them in. But yeah, I was really interested in Hazel because she's from Milwaukee, and so there's a whole story of her there that hasn't really been told. So like to think about outside of Black Mountain, what was Hazel, like her full kind of story. So, you know, so much of my practice is like conjuring proximity to these women in modernism. And so for me, being here in like a space that Hazel Larson Archer photographed has been like amazing.
I'm a drawer more than anything, but a painter too, and I've done installation and sculpture, but that's more for like a show, like a big show, because it takes up space. I knew what the parameters were of how I'd be able to work here, and I pushed them a little bit, and I got a little bit of extra permission so that I was able to hang stuff and do this like model for like a bigger installation in the sky with like the battle, the eagle representing nature here versus the vampires. I believe this building and this place to be a power center, and we have sucked the energy and we will share it with the world. Right now things are bad in the country and in the world, and usually vampires are good people in my stories, but they're bad people. And bad things and bad energy in the work that I've made here. It's been a long time since I worked with superheroes, like maybe 20 years, but I've been obsessed with Batman and the Batmobile recently. So collaborators with Batman are all the animals of nature and trees and stuff, and also Black Mountain College and the museum, which is represented by the Hall of Justice from the Super Friends. It's like a combination, the museum and the Hall of Justice, because that's like represents good humans organizing for like the artistic kind of resistance to the vampire stuff that's happening. And there's a lot of forms of Buckminster Fuller too that kind of represent respect for science and the future of humanity. This is it's the campus, let's say. This is our living quarters and the bathroom. And then here's the kitchen. And this is the three of us like walking around. There's the car. And these are our individual studios where, you know, it's like our bat capes where we do our detecting and whatnot. Oh, and this is the other collage, the third collage that we collaborated on. There's 3 Batmobiles because that's the 3 of us here at Lake Eden.
I just love being a Batman with you.
That's we have several stories. The one
Can I ask you a Super Friends question?
Yeah.
Is the invisible jet in any of the pieces?
No.
Because
It's
it's
not,
invisible.
or is it?